Hello once again, our most valued student. My name is Confident and welcome to the continuation of our lesson where we were looking at the algebraic expressions and we are looking at expanding. And to dive straight into the lesson, this is what we did in the previous lesson where we were expanding these problems. So if this is your first time, I will encourage you to go through these and see if you can manage, and then watch the previous video so that you can see compare your answers with the working that I was doing. And then in this lesson we are looking at a little bit of more advanced challenges, and well, also here it says expand and simplify. So you might get these. I've seen a few exams where they bring something similar, but it's not common. But it's very important for you to get to know such questions because it's actually good practice for your algebra. So let's start with the first one here. It says what? X plus 3 and then multiplying x minus 2 and then plus x minus 5. So let's look at this and ask ourselves, how can you approach this kind of an algebra problem? Look at this. So you can see here, one thing that you need to recognize is the two parts. You have got this part where it's separated by the sign, and you have got the second part. So this is 1, this is 2. So what you need to do is to deal with 1 and then deal with 2, but you are expanding, remember, meaning you are opening the bracket. So if I'm to do that same time, this is how it will look like. So what we are having is x will multiply there, just like we did with the normal expansion. Get hold of the first previous videos. So this is number 1, this is number 2, and then this one goes multiplies there as number 3, and 3 further multiplies there as number 4. So we continue also. This one multiplies, we'll make it our number 5, and this one multiplies, we'll make it our number 6. So it's more like you've got 6 ways or 6 steps in opening this bracket. So let's start with the first one. It's x times x. So I'm just going to write the first same final answer. X times x is now what? X squared. In the previous section I was actually writing x times x. Now next one, x times minus 2. So it's minus 2x. Okay, you must get comfortable with such. Now number 3, 3 times x. Now look at it, it's plus 3x. And then 3 times negative 2. You can take a calculator. A positive and a negative when you're multiplying is a negative. So it's negative 6, not 5. 3 times 2 is 6. And then you go to plus x times x. That's number 5. It's x squared. And x times minus 5, a positive and a negative, you get a negative 5x. See that? So this is what gives you. But now the importance of these, as I call them more advanced, is that from here you need to collect like terms. Let's come here and say collect like terms. That's where you need to be sensitive. Now let's look at the like terms here. What we have, if I take that with the yellow and that, you see, I can bring it together and say we have got x squared plus x squared. Alright, so we're done with the x squared. Now look at the x. If I look at that, I look at that, and I look at that. So what do I have? Minus 2x plus 3x minus 5x. All these are common. Remember, when we're talking about common terms, we are looking at these are common in terms of the variables. Focus on the variables. The square you group together, the x you group together, and then lastly what we have the number. We've got that number with the sign. That's all. So we've got minus 6. So why am I doing this? I'm marking them so that I can be 100% sure that I did cover each and every one of them. But remember, we don't want to see this in the exam. You need to actually remove that. This was just for you to what? It was for you to kind of get an idea that you are doing that all of these expressions, the terms in the expressions, they are all represented. So now if you say equal to, now how do you simplify? Remember, I have got, this is x squared, meaning it's 1 there and a 1 there, so it's 1 plus 1, which is 2, but 2 of the x squared. And then again, look at this part here. You know, if you are struggling simplifying this, just remember it's x, x, x. You take a calculator and then you focus on adding and subtracting. Look at this. So here I've got minus 2. So what I'll do is saying, let me use just one of these calculators. Sorry about that. Here I'll say minus 2, that's the first one, and then plus 3, and then minus 5. You see, that's what you do with the calculator. It will give you the final answer as minus 4. You can try it mentally, it's also good. So this is minus 4, but what? Minus 4x. And then it's minus 6. See? Then it becomes the final answer. You don't need to do anything further. Why? Because this is a square. It cannot do anything with x. The power there is a 1. So if that is a square, that is a 1, it means they're totally different. And this is 6. 6 cannot relate with x. X cannot relate with x squared. So you leave the final answer as is. Don't do anything further. Just be comfortable that this is the end. Don't try to start adding now to say 2 minus 4 and you're separating things that are not related. They are not relating. Leave it as is. Alright. So that is the first one. Let us look at the next one here. Let me take this off. Again, as I said, there is the other one. X plus 1 here. What? Squared. And then the other one is plus x plus 2 squared. Alright. So this is really a matter of trying to check. It's more of errors to say, are you able not to make errors? So this is what you're having. So now how do you simplify? Now if you see the squared, it simply means that you have got x plus 1 and you have got what? X plus 1. That's what it means. Again, plus the square again here says x plus 2 and then x plus 2. Are you seeing that? And then you just have to apply now the expansion rule. This is your number 1 there. We call it our number 1. And then we get our number 2. It will go there. And then there is your number 3 there. And then 1 is your number 4 there. Are you seeing that? And then we continue. This similar is your number 5. And that will be your number 6. And this one will be your number 7. And that will be your number 8. So they are more like 8 ways, 8 steps in opening that bracket, expanding. So now what do? You say x times x, which is what? X squared. X times 1, which is plus 1x. 1 times x, again, plus 1x. You don't have to write 1. You can leave it out. It's still fine. And then plus x times x, it's x squared. X times 2 plus 2x is much easier when everything is a plus. 2 times x is plus 2x, as well as 2 times 2 is plus what? Is plus 4. Again, when you're at this stage, it's a matter of identifying common terms. There is x squared, so you bring it together, which is x squared plus x squared, and then we have got 1x, 1x, 2x, 2x. All these have got the x, so you have got plus 1x plus 1x. It's much better when you're adding it and indicating the 1 now at this stage. Plus 2x plus 2x. Are you with me? And then after that, I think I lost. This is 1, 2, 3. There's something I missed here. I think you did see that. Look at this. I think I missed number 4 because it was x times x. It was x squared, 1 times x, x, and then x times 1, and then number 4 was 1 times 1, which is what? It was plus 1. So there must be 4 each. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 2 3 4. I think that was the thing. And then that's where now it comes in here to say look at 1 and look at 4. Actually, I must take the sign. It's positive 1 and positive 4. You see that? I must use that. So which is plus 1 plus 1, which is equal to now x squared plus x squared. Now I'll do what do you call this? Common errors that are found with learners. If you say to a learner x squared plus x squared, you know, your mind is tempting you to say x to the power of 4. That is not. This x to the power 4 is x squared. It's x squared times x squared. Then you can say x to the power of 4. But if I say x squared plus x squared, that's not the answer. The answer is there is a 1 there and a 1 there. 1 plus 1, it's 2x squared. It's 2 of x squared. That's why it's good to put a 1 there. You put a 1, then you say 1 plus 1. You get 2. 2 of what? 2 of x squared. 2 of them. 2 of these things. There are 2 of them. That's what it means. Don't be tempted to say 2x to the power of 4 or x to the power of 4. Now, what about from here to here? Again, it's x. You just add 1 plus 1 plus 2 plus 2. So 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 plus 2 is 4. 4 plus 2 is 6. It's 6 of what? Of that. 6 of x. Not 6x to the power of whatever. Then 1 plus 1 is what? It's 2. Then guys, nothing else can be done into this. Why? The first term has got x squared. The second term has got x. The last term does not have x. They are not related at all. You cannot add them. You cannot subtract them. You cannot do anything to them. The final answer is that. Alright. So I just want you to start getting comfortable with leaving the answer as like that without you being tempted to further simplify. Alright. Look at the next one. The next one is also interesting. You've got your 2a minus 5, and then this one is a plus 3. Alright, and then plus a plus 1, and then what? 3a minus 2. Alright, so let's take it also by side, work it out and see what it was going to give us. So there we go. This is what you have, and you're supposed to what? Expand. Remember, we need to expand that. How do you expand that? Now let's do it. For me to expand, same method. You take 2 to multiply that. It's my number 1 step, and then that 2a multiplies that. That's my number 2 step, and then the negative 5 multiplies that. That's my number 3. And the negative 5 multiplying that is my number 4. You see that? And then this one multiplying that is my number 5. That multiplying that is my number 6. This one multiplying that is my number 7. And this multiplying that is my number 8. So whenever there are 2 separate, actually 4 brackets with a plus in the middle of them, it's 8 steps, as you can see. So let's get it done. 2a times a, you see, it's 2, which is a times a. That's where you get a. See, it's a times a. It's 1 1, then it's a 1 plus 1, which is a. There are 2 now as exponents though. You see, if I say x to the power of 5 times x to the power of 5, remember, you say x to the power of 5 plus 5, which is x to the power of 10. So this is what happens when you're dealing with multiplication. Are you with me? So same thing here. 2a times a, that's where you have got 2a squared. And then number 2, 2a times 3. 2 times 3 is positive 6a. 2a times 3. So there is only one a, but the number is 2 times 3. Number 3, minus 5 times a. See, when you mention the negative ones and you're multiplying, always know the answer will remain with the negative. but it's simple 5a. 5 times a is 5a. Again, minus 5 times 3. You see, I'm mentioning a minus and a positive. So the answer is negative, because a negative multiplying a positive, negative times a positive is simple a negative. So that's why it's minus 5 times 3 is 15. Then plus a times 3a. You see, I'm mentioning a and multiplying, not adding, multiplying with another a. That's where you get 3a squared. So you only get the squares, the cube, or whatever when you're multiplying. And then again, number 6, a times minus 2. The negative has got power, it's 2a. And then 1 times 3. So it's simple 1 multiplying and it's positive 3a. Now careful, 1 times negative 2. You can see that there is only one negative, so it's minus 2. Alright, then from here, come back to the issue of collecting like terms here. Collect. Don't forget, collect like terms. Alright, so what is like terms? Look for the square, I see them. So I'm going to have 2a squared plus 3a squared. Then after that one, I'm seeing the 6a, 5a, 2a, and 3a. Don't forget the signs. Don't forget the signs. So it's plus 6a minus 5a. Look at the next one. Minus 2a plus 3a. Very important to take the sign with a number. Remember, the sign comes just before that particular term. So here you can see that it's 5a, but there is a negative before 5a. Hence it's minus 5a, not just 5a. Even here, it's minus 2a, not just 2a. Alright, those are small things that you're supposed to be taking note of. Otherwise, they'll make your answer wrong. There is a number. There is a number is what? It's minus 15 minus 2. Then you continue. Remember here, what are we doing? Don't say 2a squared plus 2a squared, then you say whether you are saying 5a4. No, you are saying 2 plus 3, which is 5. 5 of what? 5 of that. 5 of those. 5 of a squared. There are 5. Oh, are you with me? So you're saying there are 5 of them. 2 plus 3, it's 5. Part of what? Of a squared. And then what about here? Here you are going to take a calculator. You are saying, we can even do it without the calculator. It's saying 6. Forget about the a's. Say 6 minus 5. If I take 5 from 6, I'm remaining with 1. So 1 minus 2. See? Negative 2 is bigger. So it's minus 1. Minus 1 plus 3. 3 is bigger. So I subtract 3 minus 1, which is 2a. But verify that with what? Verify that with the calculator, because it's very important for you to cross check. So I got 2a, 6 minus 5 minus 2 plus 3 equal to 2. See, positive. So it's positive 2a. Minus 15 minus 2. This is whenever I say minus and minus. So if I say minus plus minus, you add but maintain the negative. Are you with me? So that's what you're going to do here. So you're going to say minus 15 minus 2. You add 15 plus 2, but you keep the negative, which is negative 17. Anything you can do from here? No. A squared is different from a, which is different from 17. Don't force things. Don't be tempted. I know your mind is telling you, this can't be the end. I must do something here. I must just bring them together. You find someone saying now 5 plus 2 is 7a. Since there is a and a, 7a, 3 minus 17. That's wrong. Suicidal, I can call it, because you can't do anything. It's like adding a cow and a chicken, and you're saying you're going, no, actually a cow and a chicken is CC. Let's say you're adding a cow and cow and what? A horse. You're going to go get a cow horse. You can't get a cow horse. If you've got a cow plus a horse, what is the final answer? It's a cow and a horse. You can't say I got a cow horse. You know, that's not reality. If you're multiplying a cow and a horse, you see, that's where now you can't multiply a cow and a horse. That's why we get funny answers like cow, horse. Only when you multiply you get such. But when you're adding and subtracting, the answers, you must only focus on like terms. Alright, so that being done, let's focus on the next one. I think it's almost done. There is the last one for the day. Look at this. I'm given here 2, and then I've got 3 over 2x, right, minus 2, and then x, what, minus 4. Alright, so then minus, and then I've got 2x plus 1, close that bracket. I need to bring in this a little bit further because it's white now, and then it is multiplying what? This is multiplying x over 2 minus 3. Let's look at this. So there we go. I got this to my attention and it needs a solution. This is a 2. Guys, the fact that there is a fractions in between mustn't scare you, but there's something I want you to be careful of. I want you to be careful of this one. And be careful of that too. Alright, be careful of that too. So what did I say? Whenever you're given there is a bracket and there is a 2 outside, better to put another bracket to show that the 2 is not included in the first part. You're going to include 2 as the last part. So let's open the bracket. So which means, how are you going to open it? You first open the inner bracket. This is your number 1, and then this is our number 2, this is our number 3, and this is our number 4. You see that? And then that is our number 5. I want you to pay attention to this one. This is our number 6. I want you to pay attention. This is our number 7, and this is our number 8. But very important things here. Another thing to take care of, look at this. NB. There. That negative sign, I'll put again NB. So there are 2 NBs there that I put, and you need to be very sensitive to that. So let's do it now. The 2 will remain on the outside bracket. Now it's what? 3 over 2x times x. You see, I'm just going to write this like that because it's simple. Okay, let me write now, since it's a fraction, 3 over 2x times x. That's how it's long. And then now I said always take out a positive if you're doing it the long way, plus 3 over 2x times what? Negative 4. I think that done in the first part, and then minus, okay, take a positive, always take a positive, plus negative 2 times x, and then plus negative 2 times negative 4. So that is the part. We continue, and then we've got minus. Now look at this. It's very important again, because of that minus, put that and put the bracket like that. Please, because of that minus, respect it like you did for 2. Just like what I did for 2, I must do the same thing for minus. At the same time, I opened it here. So where am I closing it? I'm closing it there. I think that. So I need to take this and create more space. So let's continue this thing. Here I'm multiplying what? Number 5. I'm in number 5, which is 2x here times x over 2, right? And then I've got plus. Always take out a positive. It's 2x times negative 3, and then after that one, that was number 6. Number 7, always take out a positive. It's 1 times x over 2, and then plus, always take out a positive, is 1 times negative 3, or dot negative 3. I just used times, but it's dot. Then you close there. You see, open and close it. It's a bit long like this, I know, but it can help you not to make errors. Equal to, so maintain your 2 for now. Then you're saying 3 over 2x times x is 3 over 2x squared. See, that one will remain as is. And then from there, we are now here. See, that's what we're focusing on now. We're focusing on this part here. We are saying 3 over 2x times negative 4. Now forget about x, take a calculator and say 3 over 2, and then you're saying times negative 4. See that? You see, I'm getting out negative 6. What is it happening? The 2 cancels the 4 to get a 2, so 3 times negative 2 is negative 6x. Don't forget. Then the next one, we are here now, minus 2 times x. This one is minus 2x. Remember, positive, negative, we multiply them, we get a negative. And there it is, negative 2 times negative 2. And negative times a negative, what you get? A positive. Only when you multiply. But a negative plus a negative, you get a negative when you add. So multiplication is like division. Negative divided by negative is still a positive. Alright, so just remember that, those things. So now we are saying negative 2 times negative 2, negative 4, it's positive what? 2 times 4 is what? Is 8. So that is negative 2 times negative 4, it's positive 8. That's a positive 8. Are you seeing that? Then what we do, we say we close that, then minus, we do the same thing, 2x times x over 2. Forget about the x and the x, focus on the number. This 2 is on top, that 2 is at the bottom. So it's more like 2 times half, which is 1. Then x times x, it's x squared. But with the calculator, what we're going to do, we're going to say 2 times 1 over 2. 2 times that x, there is a 1 here. So it's more like 2 times 1 over 2. See that? Then you get a 1x. So there is like a 1 there. And then we continue to say we are now here. 2 times negative 3, which is negative 6x there. And then from there we are here 1 times x over 2. 1 doesn't change anything, so it's plus x over 2. Alright, and then 1 times minus 3, there it's simple negative 3. Alright, so that's what you're having now. I think this can fit. At this stage, equal to, then you can open up this bracket. The 2 will still do that, the 2 will do that, the 2 will do that. How many times? It will do it 4 times. That's what you're having. But now remember, what you simply need to do is like you did previously when we said here is 2 times 3 over 2x squared, like the first one. I told you this is like over 1. The 2 cancels the 2 to get that 3x squared. I think that you can try with the calculator to say what is 2 times 3 over 2. 2 times 3 over 2. See, you get 3, but 3 what? 3x squared. So I'm going to have here 3x squared. Now 2 times negative 6, maintain the sign. 2 times 6 is 12x. Now 2 times negative 2 is still negative. 2 times 2 is negative 4x. 2 times 8 is 16 there, positive. Then now, what is this minus? Just know there is a hidden 1. It's more like minus 1. And we are saying minus 1 times 1 minus 1 times negative 6 minus 1 times this. But what you are simply doing when you multiply with a negative, the negative will also come here. And when it comes, it just interchanges these signs. You focus on the signs. That's what the negative does. It focuses on the signs. You just interchange. As long as a negative 1 or just a negative. So your answer will become here minus 1x squared. The negative 6 will become plus 6x. The positive x over 2 is negative x over 2. The negative 3 is plus 3. That's why it was very important to put that bracket. Then from here, collect like terms. Where are the like terms? That's where now you start by saying, I've got a squared, I've got a squared. So what is it? It's 3x squared minus 1x squared. And then from there, you've got x, focus on x. There is another x, don't leave it out. This is part, it's just 1 over 2x. So what you do, you write it as is, minus 12x minus 4x and plus 6x minus x over 2. But this is same as 1 over 2x. Just know that minus x over 2 is same as minus 1 over 2x. That's what you are just having there. It's a negative half. And then after that, you focus on the numbers. The numbers, what do you have on the numbers? There it is with the sign. It's 16 and positive 3. Alright. So that's what we're going to have. Plus 16 plus 3. To finalize this thing, okay, 3x squared minus 1x squared. Focus on 3 and 1. What is 3 minus 1? What is 3 minus 1? It's 2, right? But 2 of what? 2 of x squared. You know, I keep singing this thing, 2 of x squared. Now, here, it's better to use a calculator there. Alright, so don't strain yourself and start to say, since there is a fraction, I'll say don't even think about it, go to the calculator. There with the sign minus 12 minus 4 plus 6 minus half. X over 2 I told you is a half, so don't do much, just go straight to the calculator. There it is, minus 21 over 2 over 2 what? X. You can put the x up, or you can put the x on top, it's up to you. Minus 21 over 2, minus 21x over 2, or minus 21 over 2x is the same thing. And then 16 plus 3 is plus 19. Guys, that's the end. Don't do anything further. Don't be tempted to do anything further. The answer ends there. So that's how you work it out. Alright, I didn't want to do this, but since it's the end, let's test this. Let's do a testing. You can check all the previous questions and also work them out. That's what I will encourage you. Work all of them out and do this kind of testing, just to see if ever you are winning and getting it right. How do you test this? You do the same thing I showed you last time. You choose any value of x. For example, let x be equal to 5. So here on the final answer is 2 bracket x squared is 5 squared minus 21 over 2. My x, you put a bracket, is 5. That's substitution there, plus 19. I want to see what answer will it give me there. So it's 2 bracket 5 squared minus 21 over 2 bracket 5, just 5 plus 19. See, it will give me an answer 33 over 2. Alright, see, I got the answer here, 33 over 2. I come here and remind myself, what is my x? X is equal to 5. And I'm going to substitute here. So you see, I just have to put a bracket. There was an x here, so I put a 5 there. Here, it's a 5. Here, when there's a number 2x, you put a bracket, you put a 5. Here, you put a 5. That's what simple means. I do that. So let me just do that here and see what answer it gives me. If the answers is matching, then I'm good. 2 bracket as is. There, 3 over 2 forward bracket 5, you close it, and then minus 2, then you close the bracket, and then open another one, is 5 minus 4, close the bracket, then minus bracket 2 times 5, see, you close yours, then plus 1, alright, and then close it and then open it. You just need to be careful. 5 over 2 minus 3. See, then close it. Equal to, there it is, 33 over 2. So here I'm getting 33 over 2. So look at this, I got 33 over 2 here, and I got 33 over 2. What does it say about my simplification? Not about the answer here. This is not what you need. Remember, you don't need this. It means that and that and that, they are correct. That's what it means. It means I've managed to expand and simplify this scenario. Alright, so simplifying these questions, I just want you to remember, long, yes they are, but you can say that there is kind of a direction on how to solve them. You just need to be systematic. You don't need to hurry things. You can do the longest method like I was doing here. It's still good, especially when you're dealing with something like fractions, but the method is the same. So guys, we have come to the end of this lesson now. Look what is coming next. I don't know how to say this is, I know I said that was the most important lesson like the previous one, but this one now is another chapter. It's another important part. You can't miss this. Factorization is the foundation again of another part of algebra. Remember, when we're expanding, we're opening brackets, but now we're factorizing, we're bringing the brackets. That's the opposite of what we're doing. So you see, it's a very important concept. And look at this. I'll be going through this, and it's 1 plus 1 by 1 by 1 by 1. I lay the foundation. That's the first part. Next one, we look at this. See, factorization, that involves brackets. We look at this. I lay the foundation, and then it also says, and changing the sign rule. So where you've got x minus y, and where is it x minus y? Okay, x minus y, y minus x. Look at this. I'm going to show you how to go about these types. You know, I'll be showing you how to go about these types. They've got a strategy. All right. Then from there, where do we go? We go to factorization by grouping. Guys, you can't miss this. An important concept. Then we go to factorization by what? The difference of two squares. Look how many different what do you call this, problems I'm giving you, like different expressions I'm giving you, and I'm trying to cover as much as you can expect in exam. So I don't want you to miss the coming lessons. It's not gonna be one, it's not gonna be two, but there will be different lessons coming. You just need to follow up. If you are not subscribed, then you're gonna miss out. But if you are subscribing now, you become a part of the team, then a part of the family, and then when we are being a part of the family, it's easier for you. Every time I post a new video, you are notified by YouTube, because YouTube knows she or he is part of the family, so they will notify you. That's why I always encourage you, if you are interested about your grades, if you are serious about your marks, if you are serious about your career, you cannot miss some of these lessons, whereby every time you're trying to search what's next, because here I have already grouped them according to what you'll be doing in each term. So when you follow up, it's more like you have got an online school now. You see, I know at school you're attending, but here it's your online school. I'm your online teacher, and my interest is you. I have got you in mind, hence I brought these videos. Don't forget, comment, leave me your comments. Are you benefiting? Are you getting something out of this? And don't forget, share with your friends, share with your colleagues, so that they can also benefit. We've come to the end of our lesson. Join me in the next lesson. Thank you.